On a quiet March morning in 2023, 44-year-old mother of 6, Angela Craig, checked into University Hospital in Aurora, Colorado, assisted by her brother. For over a week, Angela had suffered strange and severe symptoms: dizzy spells, vomiting, crippling headaches, and dangerously low blood pressure. Her family and medical staff watched anxiously as the situation escalated.
You are under arrest. Okay, first degree murder.
Our hearts go out to the family and loved ones of Angela Craig. She will be remembered for her devotion, love, and the life she poured into her 6 children. Losing her in such a tragic and deliberate way is a sorrow no family should have to bear. May her memory bring comfort, and may her story inspire vigilance, courage, and the pursuit of justice for those whose voices are silenced. This is True Crime Diaries, where we dive deep into the stories behind the headlines, uncovering the evidence, the twists, and the truths that demand to be heard. Join us as we explore these cases, honoring the lives lost and the lessons they leave behind. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more gripping true crime stories. Let us know your thoughts below. What strikes you most about Angela's story? At 11 a.m. on March 15th, Angela experienced a seizure so severe that doctors moved her to the ICU. Life support was required as her organs began failing. Over the next 3 days, Angela's condition worsened until she was declared brain dead. Her husband, James Craig, dressed in blue scrubs, remained by her side, sending text updates to family and friends, urging them to come to the hospital. To the outside world, he appeared distraught, attentive, and loving. Angela had first sought treatment at Advent Health Parker Hospital over a week earlier. Despite undergoing MRIs, CT scans, and extensive blood work, the doctors could not determine the cause of her symptoms. Even when she returned home feeling dizzy and weak, her condition deteriorated. She was later found crawling across the floor, unable to stand. Only then was she admitted to the hospital, staying until her temporary discharge on March 14th. Her readmission to University Hospital the following day was routine, yet the visit would be her last. The nurse who discreetly contacted the Aurora Police Department sensed something amiss. Angela's rapid decline, paired with the mysterious nature of her illness, raised alarms.
Hi, my name is Chelsea. I am one of the forensic nurses here at University Hospital. I am needing to make a mandated SBI report, IPV, and meeting officer response. We have a suspected potassium cyanide poisoning. The husband is in the waiting room. The husband's business partner, named Ryan, who is also a dentist, was here earlier. We let him go home simply because he did not want his husband to know of the story that he told us. So he wanted to go home to kind of separate himself from that. He does not know we're calling you guys either. Okay. That's going to cause a lot of issues. Because he's wanting, my understanding is to withdraw care on her pretty quickly. And so we're trying to, get you guys involved and trying to figure out medical decision and all that.
Behind the scenes, James Craig's actions were already coming under scrutiny. While appearing attentive to Angela, he communicated with his business partner, Dr. Ryan Redford, under the guise of updates and support. It was Ryan who first discovered a curious package delivered to James's dental office 2 days prior, a container of potassium cyanide. Angela Craig, the youngest of 10 siblings, had lived a full life devoted to family and faith. Born in Kansas, she married James Craig in December 1999. Over 23 years of marriage, they had 6 children and built a home in Denver. Angela was a devout Mormon, deeply committed to her family, but also had interests in interior design, woodworking, reading, and genealogy. Just days before falling ill, Angela attended a genealogical convention in Utah with her sister. She was vibrant, engaged, and full of life, yet none of her family could have predicted the shocking events that would unfold. Angela's health issues intensified dramatically. Surveillance and hospital records reveal a troubling sequence. She was crawling on the floor at home, unable to stand, and then hospitalized. Despite the alarming deterioration, tests continued to come back normal, a detail that investigators would later tie to the deliberate poisoning orchestrated by James Craig. Autopsy results confirmed what many suspected. Angela had been poisoned with lethal doses of cyanide, arsenic, and tetrahydrozoline, a chemical commonly found in eye drops. Her death, initially appearing as a mysterious illness, was in fact deliberately engineered by her husband. Investigators quickly focused on James Craig. A search of his dental office revealed troubling clues. Computer searches dating back to February 27th included phrases like, "How many grams of pure arsenic will kill a human? Is arsenic detectable in an autopsy? Top 5 undetectable poisons." Additionally, James had purchased chemicals online, arsenic, metal, and potassium cyanide, and later bought 7 bottles of Vicine eye drops. Investigators later confirmed that the poison was administered to Angela through her morning protein shakes, a routine she followed daily. Despite appearing loving and attentive in the cameras at home, the footage revealed the moment James placed the poison shake in front of Angela, moments before her symptoms worsened. The juxtaposition of his apparent care and secret malice painted a chilling picture. If you're following along and want to see how investigators untangle James Craig's complex web of deceit, like and comment below. Share your thoughts on whether you think someone can truly hide such a plan behind the facade of a loving marriage. With Angela Craig's sudden and suspicious death, Aurora police began a meticulous investigation. Initial autopsy reports confirmed poisoning with cyanide, arsenic, and tetrahydrozoline. The combination suggested deliberate administration, and attention immediately turned to James Craig, the husband who had been by her side throughout her hospitalization. Online orders for arsenic, cyanide, and Vicine eye drops matched the timeline of Angela's sudden illness. It became clear that someone with access and intent had planned and executed the poisoning carefully. As the investigation deepened, emails and text messages revealed the motive behind the murder. James had met Karen Caney, an orthodontist from Texas, at a dental conference in Las Vegas. Over 3 days in February 2023, they attended dinners, events, and shared late-night texts filled with poetic declarations of love. James' messages to Karen ranged from romantic, "I want to forever breathe in the influence of your sweet perfume," to obsessive, "May heaven let us bloom together forever." Meanwhile, while Angela lay in the hospital fighting for her life, James continued to send messages to Karen, even sharing photos of the hospital room, updating her on Angela's declining condition, and soliciting comfort from her. This blatant duplicity shocked investigators and painted a picture of calculated manipulation. Karen Caney, unaware of James's poisoning plan, was later interviewed by detectives. She confirmed that she had visited Denver and met James, but had no knowledge of any plot against Angela. Evidence suggested that James used his relationship with Karen as a motive and justification, believing that eliminating Angela would allow him to pursue this new love freely. One of the most damning pieces of evidence was the method of poisoning. Surveillance footage from the Craig home captured James preparing Angela's morning protein shakes. The pink-lidded container tested positive for tetrahydrozoline. Investigators believe he used this routine activity to administer the poison in a manner that appeared natural, taking advantage of Angela's trust in her daily exercise habits. Further hospital messages and texts revealed the deception and manipulation. Angela had expressed concern that she felt drugged after consuming the shake. James dismissed these claims, referencing a previous incident years earlier when he admitted to a minor administration of substances for unknown reasons. He repeatedly misled hospital staff into thinking Angela's illness could be self-inflicted or psychosomatic, further delaying investigation and treatment. James Craig's deception extended beyond the home. He created fake email accounts, including Jim and Waffles, used to communicate with Karen Caney. His goal was not only to conceal the poisonings, but to fabricate a narrative portraying Angela as unstable.
Treated me like I was a suicide risk, like I did it to myself. And like nothing I said could be believed.
Investigators also uncovered attempts to manipulate others into aiding a cover-up. His cellmate, Nathaniel Harris, testified that James had asked him to locate witnesses who could be faked through Photoshop to appear as if they knew Angela and could corroborate James's story. James even sought guidance on hiring assassins to target law enforcement personnel who were investigating him. James's eldest daughter revealed that he instructed her, though a letter, to create deep fake videos of Angela, further attempting to divert suspicion and establish false evidence in his favor. Fortunately, she went directly to police with the letter, ensuring that this twisted plan never materialized. The case raises a chilling reality. Deception can hide in plain sight, even from those closest to the victim. If you're intrigued by how investigators untangled this web of lies, like, comment, and share your thoughts. Could you imagine someone plotting against a loved one while sitting bedside, appearing concerned and loving? By March 19, 2023, Aurora police had obtained a warrant for James Craig's arrest. Surveillance, online orders for poison, and witness testimony pointed squarely at him. They located him with his brother just past midnight and took him into custody. Inside his dental office, his assistant Caitlin testified that she had noticed James working in a darkened exam room with a computer, separate from the one he normally used. Orders for arsenic and cyanide, as well as poison-related research on YouTube and chemical supplier websites, were all traced back to this session. Additionally, evidence showed he planned for the possibility of insufficiency in his poison supply, purchasing extra Vicine drops and oleandrin in preparation for his calculated attack. Each step was premeditated, each move designed to ensure Angela would ingest a lethal dose while avoiding suspicion. As Angela Craig lay in University Hospital, her life slowly slipping away, the sinister reality of her situation began to crystallize for investigators. Cameras in the Craig household, combined with hospital observations, revealed James Craig's true nature. While he appeared attentive and loving, his digital activity told a different story. At approximately 1:30 p.m. on March 15th, James was captured entering Angela's ICU room with a bag of food. 20 minutes later, he was seen leaving the room with a small object in his hand, suspected to be a syringe filled with cyanide. An hour later, he casually messaged Karen Caney, updating her on Angela's condition, even sending photos from the hospital room. Within minutes, he texted her, "I'm about to tell the kids Angela has no brain activity." Then, astonishingly, just 20 minutes later, he messaged Karen again. "What you doing tonight?" This juxtaposition of grief and deception shocked detectives and painted a chilling portrait of premeditation and callous manipulation. Investigators discovered that Angela's morning protein shake, a seemingly mundane routine, had been used as the vehicle for her poisoning. James prepared the shakes regularly, and surveillance footage confirmed that he had introduced tetrahydrozoline, a component found in Vicine, into the mixture. This careful, methodical approach ensured that Angela's symptoms initially appeared medical in nature, delaying suspicion. She continued to search online for answers to her illness, desperate to identify the cause, never suspecting that her own husband was the perpetrator. The investigators also uncovered that James intended to frame Angela. He claimed she had orchestrated her own poisoning, manipulating hospital staff and his new love interest into believing she was unstable. The prosecution's case emphasized James's extramarital relationships, particularly with Karen Caney. James had a history of affairs, but this one was different. His obsession with Karen provided a clear motive for removing Angela from his life. The defense countered that James had long engaged in affairs, which Angela had repeatedly forgave, suggesting that the motive was not sufficient to warrant murder. They argued that any attempt to paint James as a cold-blooded killer ignored the context of a long, complex marriage, filled with emotional highs and lows. However, the life insurance policies, totaling $4 million, combined with the timing of the affair and the careful administration of poison, created a compelling narrative of premeditated murder for financial and personal gain. At this point in the story, it's hard not to feel the chilling tension, a husband attending to his wife in a hospital while plotting her death with calculated precision. By March 19, 2023, James Craig was in custody, held without bond for first-degree murder. His digital footprint, the poison purchases, and eyewitness accounts made a compelling case for premeditation. Detectives also discovered that James had continued messaging other women during this period, demonstrating a pattern of deceit and infidelity. This included communications through dating platforms like Seeking.com, where he posed as a multi-millionaire offering financial arrangements. Even as investigators gathered evidence, James maintained his narrative. Angela had allegedly asked him to procure the poisons herself, framing her as unstable and manipulative. He blamed Detective Olson and others for creating a fabricated case against him. By July 15, 2025, the courtroom in Aurora, Colorado was packed. James Craig's murder trial was about to begin, and the evidence against him had already sent shockwaves through the community. The prosecution opened with detailed surveillance footage, showing James preparing Angela's protein shakes and carrying items suspected to contain poison into her hospital room. They also highlighted his text messages and emails to Karen Caney, revealing the motive behind the murder. The state painted a picture of a man obsessed with a new love, willing to poison his wife to pursue it, all while maintaining the facade of a devoted husband.
At least the surface, right? He didn't meet her on seeking.com. There's no financial arrangements to their relationship. And perhaps most importantly, she's not going to sleep with him if he is still actively married to Angela, actively living at home as husband and wife. Three major differences between Karen Kane and the seeking.com ratings.
This was about a family who, looking in, Angela and Dr. Craig looked happily married. There were no problems. Angela's mental health seemed fine. Dr. Craig's mental health seemed fine. In that journal, though, you will see the struggles that Angela was having, right? Where she's talking about being isolated, where she's talking about the struggles of her relationship, that Dr. Craig's cheating and infidelity broke her, that Ryan Redford calls and is talking about the things happening at the dental office, right? That there was a package delivered and that package contained cyanide. It was over for law enforcement, right? They had tunnel vision.
Witnesses described James's extramarital affairs, his pattern of deceit, and the meticulous planning that went into administering cyanide, arsenic, and tetrahydrozoline to Angela. James's attorneys argued that the evidence was circumstantial, suggesting that Angela could have died from an accidental or self-induced illness. They emphasized the appearances of a loving marriage captured on cameras and tried to cast doubt on the narrative of premeditation. The defense also referenced a diary Angela had kept, which included old entries describing personal struggles, implying that her health or emotional state could have contributed to her death. They argued that James's relationship with Karen Caney was no different from past affairs and not a strong enough motive to commit murder. Despite the defense's efforts, the prosecution's case was reinforced by the mountain of digital evidence, poison purchases, hospital surveillance, and witness testimonies, all of which tracked James's actions, leading directly to Angela's death. During the trial, Caitlin, the office manager at Craig's dental practice, testified about observing him in a darkened exam room, searching for poison-related information online. Investigators also called upon Nathaniel Harris, James's former cellmate, who recounted his instructions regarding creating fake witnesses and deepfake videos to cover up the crime. The prosecution highlighted James's calculated communications with Karen Caney, showing that he had texted her updates on Angela's condition while simultaneously plotting her murder. Witnesses described the toxic combination of charm and deceit that allowed James to maintain appearances while committing these acts. Prosecutors presented another compelling element: 4 life insurance policies on Angela, totaling $4 million, naming James as the beneficiary. This financial incentive, combined with the affair, established a clear motive. Furthermore, the prosecution argued that James's previous affairs and manipulations were consistent patterns of behavior, showing his willingness to exploit trust and manipulate those closest to him. The jury was shown emails, texts, and Amazon orders linking him directly to the poisons that killed Angela. After several hours of deliberation over 2 days, the jury returned with a unanimous verdict. James Craig was found guilty of first-degree murder.
As to verdict form, count 1. Murder in the first degree. We, the jury, unanimously and beyond a reasonable doubt, find the defendant, James Craig, guilty of murder in the first degree.
During the penalty phase, Angela's eldest daughter spoke emotionally about the pain of losing her mother, reflecting the anguish of a family shattered by betrayal and murder.
I'm supposed to be able to trust my dad. He was supposed to be my hero, and instead he'll forever be the villain in my book.
Despite the heartfelt pleas, the jury agreed unanimously that justice demanded the maximum sentence. In November 2025, James Craig was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus a consecutive 33 years for additional counts related to the crime.
Clearly, Craig wanted out of his marriage, but was unwilling to face the consequences of divorce, especially a divorce initiated by him. He gave in to greed and cowardice.
Judge Shea Whitaker emphasized the premeditated and callous nature of the murder, highlighting the elaborate planning, use of poisons, and exploitation of those around him. Friends and family described Angela Craig as more than the victim in this case. She was a devoted mother, loving wife, and compassionate nurse. Her tragic death became a stark reminder of how deception and manipulation can hide behind a facade of normalcy. The Angela Craig case demonstrates the importance of vigilance, both in personal relationships and in recognizing patterns of deceit. Even those who appear loving and devoted can harbor dark intentions, and only through careful investigation and uncovering the truth can justice be served. Angela's story, while heartbreaking, also highlights the dedication of investigators, forensic experts, and law enforcement in piecing together digital evidence, witness accounts, and physical clues to bring a killer to justice. Her children, though forever impacted, are now safe from further harm, and the legal system delivered closure, if not comfort, to those who loved her. If this story shocked you and made you reflect on the hidden dangers of deception, like, comment, and share your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth true crime stories that reveal the truth behind the headlines. The case of Angela Craig serves as a chilling reminder: trust must be earned, vigilance is necessary, and the truth, no matter how buried, will eventually surface. Until next time, stay aware, stay safe, and always look a little deeper. This is True Crime Diaries, where every story has a pulse.